First of all, I have to correct you because now by executive order, it is the Donald J. Trump and Desi Lydic Foxplains presented by Donald J. Trump. Oh. So that's a new thing.
He's sponsoring the segment now?
He is now. He put his name on it.
Is he paying for that?
I have not seen a dime.
You've not getting a check.
He says he will.
Jimmy Kimmel joined Desi Lydic on The Daily Show for a lighthearted conversation that quickly turned into a joke about Donald Trump's branding habits. Desi sarcastically claimed that, thanks to an executive order, their segment was now officially called Donald J. Trump and Desi Lydic Foxplains, presented by Donald J. Trump. Kimmel immediately played along, asking whether Trump was at least paying to sponsor the segment. Desi joked that she hadn't seen a single dime despite the supposed endorsement. The exchange poked fun at Trump's long-standing habit of attaching his name to products, buildings, and political initiatives. It was a playful way to open the interview while setting the tone for a conversation that mixed comedy with current events. Kimmel's quick improvisation kept the joke going, turning a simple question into an extended bit that had the audience laughing.
Donald Trump had a rough week. His beautiful economy crashed because some dum-dum came and tariffed every country on the planet. He tried to save it yesterday, but the markets are still crashing today because, again, some absolute moron keeps ramping up a trade war against China.
Desi then shifted to one of the week's biggest economic stories. Reacting to the sharp market decline following Trump's sweeping tariff announcements, she sarcastically remarked that America's beautiful economy had crashed because some dumb decided to tariff nearly every country on the planet. She continued the joke by saying that even after Trump attempted to calm investors, markets kept falling because the trade dispute with China continued to escalate. While the comments were clearly comedic, they reflected the uncertainty many investors were feeling as markets reacted to the latest trade policies. The segment demonstrated how major economic headlines often become immediate material for late-night satire. Rather than analyzing stock charts or trade negotiations in detail, Desi focused on the political messaging surrounding the issue. Her jokes captured the frustration and confusion many people felt as markets reacted to rapidly changing tariff announcements.
But in moments like this, there's one thing a serious leader does. Gather up all your closest friends on your payroll and make them say nice things about you.
Thank you for your leadership and thank you for everything you're doing.
Your leadership at the border, absolutely remarkable.
I want to thank you as well for the shipbuilding.
I want to thank you for standing up to the Chinese Communist Party.
What you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country, but ultimately to the world.
You were overwhelmingly elected.
Desi next turned her attention to one of Donald Trump's cabinet meetings, where several cabinet members publicly praised the president before delivering updates on their departments. Rather than focusing on policy, she joked that viewers were watching Trump's closest friends shower him with compliments. The exaggerated praise quickly became one of the meeting's biggest talking points, with critics arguing it felt more like a celebration than a traditional cabinet briefing. Desi leaned into that perception, using the moment to highlight how unusual the exchange appeared. As with many of her monologues, the humor came from taking a real political event and emphasizing the moments that audiences found most surprising. The repeated praise from cabinet members became the centerpiece of her satire, rather than the policies discussed during the meeting itself. It was another example of how political optics can sometimes generate just as much attention as the substance of the event.
I don't know what I'm doing there. I have no idea.
It's something that came, well, it was the same for me. I wasn't super focused on this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it became something that you cannot ignore.
You certainly can't. You cannot ignore it. You can't. Oh man, they're both going out. You got Melania and Trump going after you.
Yeah.
I will say it's kind of sweet the way you've unified them. You really brought them together.
The interview ended on a more personal note as Jimmy Kimmel reflected on how his comedy changed over the years. He admitted that he hadn't planned on focusing so much on politics, but said Donald Trump became impossible to ignore once he entered the White House. Desi then pointed out that both Donald Trump and Melania Trump had publicly criticized Kimmel, joking that it was actually kind of sweet because he had managed to unite them on something. The audience laughed as Kimmel took the remarks in stride. It was a fitting conclusion to a conversation that blended political satire with behind-the-scenes stories from one of late night's most outspoken hosts. Kimmel explained that political events naturally became part of his monologues because they dominated the national conversation day after day. Despite the criticism he has received over the years, he suggested that ignoring those stories simply wasn't an option for a comedian hosting a nightly show. The conversation between Desi Lydic and Jimmy Kimmel showed how quickly politics and comedy have become intertwined. From Trump's branding and economic policies to late-night satire and personal criticism, nearly every headline now finds its way into a monologue. One thing is clear, the conversation isn't ending anytime soon.